Good morning. Want some coffee? There we go. All right, that just has to drain through, and it's time. Almost ready. Come on. And here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Friday. It's November 6th, 2020. My name's Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. It's what have I been having this week? It's a Starbucks, like one of their more expensive ones. It's a Sumatran, Sumatran dark roast sort of deal. Hi, how are you? Snow's gone outside, almost a couple little spots in the corners. It was close to 70 degrees yesterday. We're gonna have highs of 60s for like the next week. Crazy weather. And yeah. So I hope you had a great Thursday. My Thursday went pretty well. Went to the gym, got a bunch of work done. Starting to dial in on some revised, let's call it work processes that should make things a little more efficient. The low side of yesterday was hearing back from the state that they have denied my lemon law claim. I am receiving nothing. They have decided that my car works as intended because I did a poor job of arguing my case. So I have plans on follow-up, don't worry. Mazda's gonna beg me to buy this car back by the time I am done with them. On the other side of the spectrum, what did I do? Went to the gym, got a bunch of work done, started working on my novel. Started fleshing out the, let's say, the universe and the characters, because it's got to be a little bit different than reality in order for the martial arts to shine through. So we're gonna make some adjustments to the way the world is. And I did a bunch of that work yesterday, and there's a short story that's kind of coming out of it that should help me get into writing, because it's been a long time since I wrote any fiction. And when that goes up, that'll go over on martialjournal.com. So if you're not checking out that site, you should. We've got a bunch of cool stuff over there, and there's so much content. Most of what is over there is the term we use in the industry is evergreen, meaning it's just as relevant now as it was, when it was written, whenever that was. So go check that out. If you like reading about martial arts stuff, go to Martial Journal. There's tons of good content. What else? Oh, watched V for Vendetta last night. If you've seen the movie, you know why I watched it last night, because it was the 5th of November, Guy Fawkes Day, which is relevant to the movie. And I have watched that movie on November 5th for years. And sadly, I just tweeted this, sadly, it seems to get closer and closer to reality each year. And I'm taking some inspiration from that for the novel. And honestly, it's a trilogy. It's a whole universe. We'll see. I'm going to start with the trilogy. We'll start with the first book. We'll get that book done and go from there. If it flops, I won't write the others. But I'm a decent writer, and I think I got a good concept, so we'll see how it does. I would like to get some content out there that appeals to non-martial artists, and if we can use that content to maybe gently encourage martial arts, which is part of why I have to make some adjustments to the world, the universe that they're in, as well as make money. Everybody wins. Let's get people doing martial arts. think that was it. Now, what's going on today? I'm going to go back to the gym. I got one call today. I've got a bunch of little stuff. I've got a couple things I got to do for some clients. I got to put away laundry, as ridiculous as that sounds. I got 3 loads of laundry sitting in my bedroom. Do you hate putting away laundry? It's not like it even takes that long. It's just not something I feel like doing. I might do that at lunch. Take a break, put away laundry. And then this weekend, hoping to go for a hike. I got a little bit of work I got to do outside. And I'm probably going to work on the book. Because I've given myself a target for getting this book done by the end of the month. Because I want it available for holiday sales. Which is an utterly ridiculous deadline, but I'm still going to shoot for it. I've got a development method for content that, because I'm pretty good at well, clearly this moment does not exemplify it. I'm pretty good at improvisational stuff. So whether I sit down and hammer out in voice or with a keyboard, I should be able to turn this out pretty quickly. And the better, more detailed my outline is, and the more structured my story arc, the easier it should be for me to turn that out. And a book doesn't have to be 1,000 pages. A book can be 300 pages. What's 300 pages in a book? It's probably close to like 100 Microsoft Word pages, maybe 125. Yeah. I turn out 30-page documents like nothing. So. Anything else to say? Continuing to not say anything political, because I don't want to. This is my reprieve from that. Oh, coffee's good. There's nobody watching live right now, from what I can tell, and that makes it a little bit harder to engage. So, oh, there's someone. Hello, one person. Let's see what you all wrote in. What do you want me to talk about? Let's find out. If you want to leave comments, put them in the comment section below when the show episode closes. Richard said, "Good morning, the coffee is brewed." Good. All right. Well, I'm going to break the politics. Frank wrote political jokes for Funday Friday. They do not appear to be at anybody's expense or anything, so I think these will be fine. Why did the Three Stooges win the election? They had momentum. It's important to look closely at lawn signs during election campaigns. Last time I voted for a real estate agent. Someone just asked me, who do you think will win the 2020 presidential election? I said, I don't know. I don't have 2020 vision. Where did the politician take his wife for something sweet? On a candy date. What kind of limb did the candidate for president go on? An executive branch. What grows longer every election year? The branches of government. Oh, there's some. I'm doing a show, Kat. Yeah. You can come sit with me, or you can go lay down. I'll feed you more later. Where do poll workers get trained? The Electoral College. Those are good ones, Frank. All right. And we've got some stuff from Frank himself. So those of you who have been watching for a while or listening for a while, you know that Frank is the glue that holds this show together. He makes sure I always have stuff to talk about. He does work on the back end for the show. He's become a good friend, and I really appreciate him. And it looks like we're going to get to know a little bit more about him, because I'll be honest, he's a pretty private guy. After working with the general public for 12 years, I can tell you there are two expressions that have kept me out of more trouble with the ladies than I ever thought possible. Whatever you say, and young lady. Frank. The equivalent one that I use is I understand. Zuza, come here. She's on the other side of the house meowing, and her dementia's getting worse. Like, I've noticed it over the last few weeks. It's really hard to watch. It's not easy for me to be around. She's old. Physically, she's in pretty good health, but I believe she's on the other side of the house asking to be put on the sink so she could drink water out of the sink. That is something that we used to do. It's the best theory I have. I'm sure you wanted to know that. One of my favorite quotes about dogs, and they shall be given 4 legs so that no one will suspect them of being angels. Zuza, come here. Come here. Come sit with me. You haven't been on the show in a while. You want to come on the couch? Come here. Let go. Okay, fine. She doesn't want to come up. I was going to pick you up. Why are you being a crabby face? Dogs are the best. So the gym I go to has a dog, and we've gotten to be good buds. We play. He comes to the door when I come in. He comes to the door for a lot of people, not everyone though. So I take it as a compliment. And he's got one bent ear, so think of him as kind of like a German Shepherd-ish dog. That's the structure of his body. And he's got ears that stick up, except one of them like half curls over. It's kind of bent or broken or whatever. Apparently that's a thing that can happen to dogs' ears when they're puppies. Whatever that is. I'm assuming it's cartilage that holds them up, can bend. But he's a funny dog. Doesn't like his feet touched. He's very sweet. Sometime early when I would play with him before I really got to know and remembered that he didn't like having his feet touched. I'd swatted his foot, and he would kind of lash out at me. And he never hurt me. And he would always get so embarrassed. He would snap at me and then like immediately like lick my hand and apologize. It was really the sweetest thing. Such a good boy. His name is Vulcan. In a way, the comedies on television are more cleverly written than the mysteries. Frank. I think the comedies generally give more space for quality writing. When I think about the shows that I know that are the most intelligently written, those are generally comedies. I know, for example, Seinfeld is not everyone's cup of tea. I think it's a brilliant show, and I think it changed not only television, but comedy and popular culture. You might think on the surface that was an easy show to write, but sit down and really watch an episode. Not easy. Not easy to write something that is that approachable, that timeless, that funny, and gave the characters the space and the actors the opportunity to really live through it. And I've probably said it before, but I think the show with the best writing of all time is Gilmore Girls. It's absolutely brilliant, and it's funny, and it's touching, and it's my favorite show. I've heard people make similar claims of West Wing without the humor. At some point, I need to watch West Wing. I just haven't yet. Probably because it's political. I accompanied my mom for a minor surgery a few years ago. I took the day off from work to drive her to and from the appointment. I was there for emotional support as well. The whole car ride over, I told her jokes. When we arrived at the facility, she was taken to get ready for surgery while I waited in the waiting room. After she had changed into her gown, I was allowed to go back and see her. I told more jokes. At one point, the doctor came in and said, "Your EKG came back just fine." While holding my mother's hand, I replied, "Doctor, I could have saved you the trouble. I've known this woman for years. She has a great heart." Frank. I think that quote probably exemplifies what I know of Frank. There have been days where I've been very open on First Cup that maybe I had a rough day the day before or just wasn't feeling great, and Frank will email me jokes. You're a good man, Frank, and I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. We all have the opportunity to use our gifts to help the world. And it's not always big. It's not always grand and recognized. I have a very, very simple life philosophy, and I've had this philosophy for a very long time. Do a little bit more than your share. What is our share in the world? To not make it worse. That's our job. That's our only job in the world, is to not make the world worse. To not make people's lives worse, to not make the environment worse, to not make things worse. Overall, if you were to come up with some massive score system for how the world is impacted as a result of I or you being here, from the time you're born to the time you die, it should come out to a 0. My philosophy is I want it to come out just a little bit better than that. And when I look at the world in that way, when I look at people in that way, there are so many people who don't realize they're contributing to the good. They watch TV and they see the score of someone like, somebody I look up to, Elon Musk. Elon Musk might be a controversial figure, but he is changing the world, and I think for the better. He's done a lot of really good things. And so someone might look at Elon Musk and say, that's an example of someone changing the world for the better. I think most people are changing the world for the better. I just think it's on a small level. And I think that is so important. Because we need people like that. We need everyone to start there. And it's why on a daily basis, when I interact with someone, how can I make that person's life a little bit better? Pay them a compliment, smile at them, tell them a joke, hold the door for them, nod. The tiniest little things. And here's an example of how powerful that can be. You ever had a really bad day? You ever had a day where you're going through the motions and you feel like the entire world is out to get you? We all have those days time to time. And then somebody somewhere says or does something that is minuscule, but in comparison to the way the rest of the day is gone, it feels huge and validating and maybe doesn't change the course of the day, but it helps. And it helps a lot more than that person would have ever realized. I've said this before on the show, maybe not for a while, but I try to treat everyone I speak with the compassion that I would give them if I knew they were contemplating suicide. Doesn't mean you let people off the hook. Doesn't mean you don't tell them what they need to hear or what you need to say or correct them or whatever. But it changes the way you say it. It changes how you say it. And yeah, probably means some of the little stuff you let go. I have friends that I love dearly. Some of them do things that drive me insane. I let them go. Not my friends, the things. I let the things go. Don't sweat the small stuff, whatever you want to call it. It's all small stuff. I haven't given homework in a while, but here's your homework. Find one opportunity to say or do one small thing for one person today. Something a little extra. Wait a little bit longer to hold the door for somebody. Buy the coffee for the person behind you. Let somebody merge in on the highway in front of you. Little stuff, easy stuff. Is there a way I can say this? Okay. Let's put actual religion aside for a moment. Let's pretend there is an archetype for evil. Let's pretend, whether you believe it or not, let's all just agree for purposes of this mental exercise that there is an evil figure that is bent on generating and spreading evil. Okay. What would be the easiest way to spread evil? Encourage fear. I've said before many times on the show, love and fear are opposites. It's not hate, it's fear. Those are the two motivations. How many people are acting out of fear right now? How many people are choosing to stay fearful? What does the world look like if we continue being afraid and acting out of that fear and treating each other from a fearful place? It's not good. I am afraid of the fear because I love the world. I love people. I love all of you. And I don't want you to be afraid. So let's see if maybe doing some good for some people helps temper that fear a bit. Okay. All right, now I'm going to go. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great weekend. I just hope it's good. And I hope to see you back here on Monday. Maybe you'll leave me a question or a comment, something to respond to. I would appreciate that. Thanks again to Frank. And who else have stuff this week? Gabe. I think it was just those two. If I missed somebody, I apologize. I'll see you back here Monday, bright and early, 6:30 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. And if you want to support us, we got the Patreon, and I put up a new sweatshirt yesterday at whistlekick.com, and we're going to debut that next Tuesday. Actually, no, next month's Whistlekick Live, December's episode. So you can check it out early, though. All right. Take care, everybody. Peace.